Alright, so we made a shortcut key and we went over the interface really quick. So what do we need to do next? I want to show you just a sample pattern, right? We already looked at some, but I'll show you another one. That way I can show you the process with a shortcut key. So let's say I take my selection tool and I'm going to shift and option drag a copy of this up, something like that. And I'm going to spin this circle or this ellipse around the one in the middle. So I'm going to R for rotate. And actually, I'm not even going to do that. I got a different idea. Let me click on this guy. I'll make this one a little bit bigger. I'm going to move it down a little bit. Then I can option drag one off. I'm going to hold shift and just kind of make this one a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to option drag another copy up there, make this one even smaller. Okay, so I have a series of 3 little circles or ellipses. I'm going to highlight it and all of them like that, marquee selection. I'm just going to drag out a little bit holding shift so I fill my tile on my artboard a little bit better. So I'm working small. I could also click on the artboard, hit Command 0, zoom in so I can see what I'm doing better, and then I'm going to hold shift and option. I'm just going to drag out from the center and I want to fill that tile a little bit more. Then Command Option 0 zooms me back out to everything. I have everything selected and we made that new shortcut key for creating a pattern, right? So instead of going up to Object, Pattern, Make 24 times, if we remember, Option Shift Command bracket key, Option Shift Command left bracket, starts to create my pattern. Got my pattern options over here. First thing I want to do is rename my pattern. So the first row that you're going to do, the first 12, those are going to be black and white. So call it B and W 01 for black and white 1. Then experiment with all your options here. So tile type, we have grid, we have brick by row, how much is the brick offset, then you can mess with the width, you can also, how many copies do we want, 3 by 3, whatever you want to do, experiment, test them out. When you're all the way done, you can hit the escape key or you can hit done right up here in the top, and you can see over here I've created this pattern swatch. So if I want to see how it looks, I click on this white rectangle. I make sure that the fill is active and not the stroke, the fill, and I click on my new pattern swatch and I see how it looks. And if I roll over it with the mouse, you can see B&W 01. It's called black and white 01. Then I switch back onto my pattern layer. I come over here. I can either start anew or maybe I drag these over, holding shift and option, and then I command, oops, don't want to do that. I command 0, and I can hold the space bar, and I could be zoomed in on this, and then I could do something different. What happens if I do something like this, and there's strokes and fills? I don't think it's going to look good, but just to show you a different way and to go through the process again, I'm going to command option 0 to zoom back out. I'm going to highlight it all. I don't think it'll look good, but we'll see. And option shift command left bracket. We have some options over here. And one thing I forgot to do, instead of typing B and W over and over again, if I highlight this, command C, then I can paste it each time and just change the 2 to a 3 to a 4 to stuff like that. Alright. I like it. It'll work. I'm going to hit done. I can click on my pattern preview, click on my new pattern, and it's not as bad as I thought. It's okay, right? But that way I'm quickly creating patterns. I roll over it, I have something like that. I can see the name. I can take another tool. I can take rectangle tool. I can, selection tool first. I'll click on that artboard, command 0 to zoom in. I'll take my rectangle tool. I'm going to look for the center. I can shift an option to make a rectangle from that. Right now I still have this pattern fill selected, so I'm going to make sure my fill's black because we're working on black and white. Then if I hold Option and Shift, I can put a little square up like that. And R to rotate. I want to rotate around this one in the center and make a copy. And I'm going to duplicate, Command D to duplicate, and I get a pattern like that. Again, I want to fill up my tile a little bit more, so I marquee select everything, Shift and Option, and I'm actually going to try to go up to the edge like that. If I'm a little bit off, I'm a little bit outside the edge, I want to make it a little bit smaller. Alright? And I can align these to the artboard, but I'm not going to worry about it. I just eyeball it a little bit, get it close. Option, Command, Shift, left bracket. I'm going to come into my new pattern, Command V, because I copied black and white 2 last time. I hit the delete key or the backspace key, type in the 3. I try, I don't know, brick by column. I try 3 by 1. And I'm done. I want to see how it looks. Command Option 0 to go all the way back out. I click on my pattern preview. I click on this new black and white 03, and there I go. I have a third texture. Now here's the trick, right? You're drawing your stuff down here. You're testing it up here. Be careful of this. Don't use the 3 that I went through with you. Those were just me showing you the process. But I do not want to see these 3 as 3 of your patterns. So, highlight them and delete them, and then come up here and then hold Shift and click all the way across and delete these. I'm going to leave mine for the next tutorial, but I just want you to not have these swatches in there, so delete them, and delete them from there and do your own, okay? Alright, we'll see what